Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of all of us here at Berkeley Symphony, welcome to Forte, our second and hopefully our last online gala. My name is René Mandel, Artistic Director of Berkeley Symphony. As you all very well know, it has been the most challenging year ever. As a community, we have encountered unprecedented events that have created fear and uncertainty for all of us. But in the midst of all of this despair, we have also witnessed incredible acts of kindness and courage. So, we decided to call tonight's event Forte, in honor of the strength and resilience that our community has shown throughout this past year. Now that there is finally a light at the end of the tunnel, we can celebrate and feel hopeful about a brighter tomorrow. Berkeley Symphony has survived the pandemic, and we are here to be part of the healing process for our community. Our goal is to emerge from this period as a stronger, more dynamic organization that can do even more for the people we serve. Even though we have been on hiatus from live performances, we have been quite busy presenting online programming featuring our Berkeley Symphony musicians. Last fall, we presented Joseph Young and Friends, a series created and hosted by our brilliant music director, Joseph Young. We also recently launched our 4-part online video series, Real Berkeley, and with the Berkeley Public Library Foundation, we co-produced Reading is Instrumental. Our esteemed education director, Ming Luke, and our musicians have been busy providing online music education to all of our Berkeley Public Elementary School students. Tonight is a celebration as well as a fundraiser. We are presenting outstanding musical performances, including our first full orchestra concert in over a year conducted by Joseph Young. Our goal is to raise $150,000, which will help to position Berkeley Symphony for the brighter future we want to create. We are deeply grateful to the generous donors who have already come forward to provide vital support when we needed it the most, and we need your support as well to reach our goal. A donation of any amount will make a significant difference in our community, and we thank you very much for your support. And now, It is my great pleasure to introduce to you our host for this evening, Michael Tate.
Thank you so much, René. Good evening, and welcome to Berkeley Symphony's second annual virtual gala, Forte. My name is Michael Tate, and I am honored and humbled to be serving as your host this evening. As a lifelong music lover, I'm thrilled to be a part of this event. And on behalf of Berkeley Symphony, I want to express our deep gratitude to the hundreds of viewers that have joined us for this evening's celebration. We have a wonderful program planned featuring a variety of special guests who will share some of their favorite Berkeley Symphony stories. We will also be presenting a concert a bit later in the program that showcases the incredible artistry of our orchestra. Make no mistake about it, tonight is a celebration. However, it is also a fundraiser during which we hope to raise vital funds to provide support for both Berkeley Symphony's 50th anniversary season and our beloved program, Music in the Schools, which benefits over 4,700 elementary school students each year. Now, I know virtual galas are still a little bit new for some of us, so I want to make sure that everyone knows how to make a donation. If you've already registered, you should have received a text message on your cell phone with a donation link. You can simply click that link and donate on your phone at any point in the evening. And we encourage you to click that link as many times as you want. If you haven't already registered or you didn't receive the text message, simply text the code BSO Forte to 76278 to receive the link. Once again, text BSO Forte to 76278. The instructions are also on the bottom of the screen right now. As an additional incentive for donating this evening, I am thrilled to announce that Gordon Getty has generously agreed to match up to $50,000 in donations that we receive tonight. That's right, a dollar-for-dollar match that will put us well on the way to reaching our goal of $150,000 for this event. We would like to extend a heartfelt thank you to Gordon Getty for his ongoing support of Berkeley Symphony. I'd also like to acknowledge the sponsors who have helped to make this evening possible. At the maestro level, we'd like to say thank you to Kathy Henschel and John Dukas, Paul and Laura Bennett, and Tom Richardson and Edie Jackson. At the impresario level, we'd like to shout out Sharik Yosefzai and Brian James. And at the virtuoso level, we want to extend a heartfelt thank you to our friends Lisa Taylor, Deborah Gould, Kathy Crandall and Lori Gitter, Ken Johnson and Nina Grove, and Jeff Hahn and Jennifer Banzaka. We're also fortunate to be supported by several companies that have contributed to tonight's festivities. Please join me in thanking our in-kind sponsors, William Nuttall Winery, Pete's Coffee, Chocolaterie, and Scenic Maid Bakery. Now, let's continue our program with a special message from one of our longtime Berkeley Symphony musicians, Emma Moon.
Hi, my name is Emma Moon, and I'm the principal flutist of your very own Berkeley Symphony Orchestra. I've been a member of this orchestra for over 15 years, which is a long time in musician years. What keeps me returning to perform here out of all the Bay Area orchestras is its history of innovation, its inspirational academic environment, its adventurous programming, which enables the orchestra to commission and world premiere not only our local talent pool of composers, but also national and international emerging and well-established ones. It's being a career springboard for our composers, conductors, musicians, and staff. Its sense of community, and it's being one big family. My most memorable moments are far and wide, but include a magical rendering of Bruckner's Seventh Symphony with Ken Nagano, the US premiere Sofia Gubaidulina's Fashwork, the violin concertos of Korean composer Eun-Suk Chin, and our very own Samuel Adams. While the past 15 months have been extremely challenging for the entire world, we are now seeing a light at the end of this very long pandemic tunnel. Musicians of the BSO, who are also on the roster of every other freelance orchestra in Northern California and beyond, have been struggling financially with no playing opportunities, yet they continue to persevere and find creative ways to stay engaged and connected, not only with their instruments, but with one another. We are all ready to return to the concert hall stage this fall, but only when it is safe to do so. We greatly appreciate your patronage of our concerts, our educational programs, as well as this gala. On behalf of the BSO musicians, please consider a gift tonight to support this vital cultural resource as the symphony paves the way to reopen safely with live performances for the entire Berkeley community once again. Enjoy the rest of this gala, and many thanks.
Good evening. What a delight it is to be invited to take part in this event. My name is Kathy Huff, Executive Director of the Berkeley Public Library Foundation. Not long after the pandemic began, the Berkeley Symphony and the Library Foundation embarked on a unique collaboration. With symphony halls and public libraries and schools all shut down, and so many people unable to leave their homes, and of course all of us worried about the future, we wanted to do something meaningful together, something that would bring a bit of joy and fun back into our lives, something especially for the children and the families in our community. We knew that by working together, we could support shared goals. We've known for a long time that music literacy and reading literacy, when started at a young age, make for a greater future for that child. Our vision was simple: combine great musicians, Berkeley Symphony musicians, with celebrity readers and let their gifts shine in service of a great cause. The result is a series of short videos we've produced called Reading is Instrumental. The series already has 12 episodes, and you can view them all on the library's Facebook page. We are all so fortunate to have a world-class symphony in our midst. Collaborating with the Berkeley Symphony staff and musicians on this joint public service project has truly been one of the rare pleasures of the past year. Everyone who experiences the Berkeley Symphony already knows the transformative power of music to heal and to uplift. Combine that with a good story, and something magical happens. Here's a sneak peek into what Reading is Instrumental is all about.
Welcome to Reading is Instrumental. My name is Nancy Bien.
My name is Ravinder Sehgal.
My name is Michael Tate, and this is my double bass.
You might see a street parade with a brass band being led by the trumpet, playing something like this.
My name is Michael Quende, although I am better known by children, parents, and teachers across Berkeley as Mr. Michael.
My name is Kate Schatz, and I am an author. I am also a reader.
Hi, my name is Thatcher Hurd, and I'm going to read you a book I wrote and illustrated called Mama Don't Allow.
Hello, welcome to Reading is Instrumental. My name is Maxine Hong Kingston.
And I'm Earl Kingston.
My name is Gassia Mikaelian. I'm a morning news anchor at KTVU Fox 2 News in Oakland, and I'm so glad to be with you.
I'm Carol Chris, the Chancellor of UC Berkeley. The book that I'm going to read is Pierre.
One of my favorite instruments is actually a cake pan. Imagine that. Listen to this.
Be nice or leave. Just reminds us that we should all be nice to each other, especially right now.
And sometimes it's music that sounds very happy and full of energy.
Now, I'm going to play some of these nice low notes on the viola.
There he goes to Madrid.
It's like those dinosaurs got so big they exploded right out the windows.
Don't fall asleep when an orchestra plays. Have you ever tried to write a book yourself? You might try that. You'd probably have a lot of fun doing it.
Hello, I am Rita Moreno, and I'm going to read you my favorite story, The Runaway Bunny.
could be exciting.
The poem is called Mood Indigo, and the book is called Ellington Was Not a Street. I hope you enjoyed it.
It's been a lot of fun, and I'll see you at the Berkeley Public Library soon. And I'll see you at the Berkeley Symphony, too.
Thank you all for joining me and the Berkeley Symphony today. And thank you for watching Reading is Instrumental. Take care, everyone.
Good evening. My name is Carolyn Doelling. For the past 25 years, I have been a patron and subscriber, former board member, and now advisory board member of the Berkeley Symphony. My first exposure to the symphony was as a parent volunteer at Emerson Elementary School. I attended a Music in the Schools concert and was bowled over by the joy and delight on the faces of these young 6, 7, and 8-year-olds. Parents were encouraged to attend the symphony concerts and to subscribe, so I did. I was absolutely enthralled by the music in Bach, which was both familiar classical pieces alongside unique and expansive ones. I support Berkeley Symphony because the music is a fundamental component of the Berkeley experience. The innovative programming builds bridges between cultures. The music brings joy to all generations, ages 8 to 80 and beyond. After years of working in philanthropy at a local community foundation, I can personally attest that individual donations are the backbone of any arts organization. Without support from individuals like you and me, the Berkeley Symphony cannot thrive, especially in today's environment. Your contributions allow the symphony to invoke awareness and appreciation of the music and inspire a local culture of creative and innovative thinkers. So please join me in giving to the Berkeley Symphony. Your gift has never been more important than it is today. I thank you in advance for your support.
This BART Plaza performance was recorded on an October afternoon in 2019, and the occasion was to celebrate a new season, a new era for the Berkeley Symphony. But I like to say it was also a celebration of our community. You know, during our small community event, I saw people of all ages. It was so much fun to teach toddlers how to conduct an orchestra, or see patrons who haven't seen the orchestra in a long time or out in the community. We had an eager audience, but also a large amount of people passing by who became captivated by our music. I wanted everyone on that street to feel connected. And I think music has a way of doing that. We wanted to start off our season out and around the community and let everyone know that our mission is to bring our music to every corner of Berkeley. I like to think the Berkeley Symphony is going to be a vital part of your life. We're going to be at the farmers market, we're going to be at the library, we're going to be at the schools, and we're going to be in the parks. We want to be in the concert halls, but we also want to be everywhere you are. The Berkeley Symphony is going to be an orchestra for the people, an orchestra for Berkeley. So I want to invite you all to join us and experience music in the heart of Berkeley, wherever we may be. And I promise you won't be disappointed.
Good evening. My name is Kathy Henschel,
and I'm delighted to be here to celebrate with you tonight. I've been a subscriber and supporter for over 30 years and a board member since 2004. I support Berkeley Symphony because I love music and I love the people who create the magic of music. One of our resident magicians is Ming Luke, our education director. Ming leads Music in the Schools, one of Berkeley Symphony's longest and strongest programs, so that all of Berkeley's public elementary school children can learn to love music and create magic for themselves and their families. We have a wonderful partnership with Berkeley Unified School District, and we're very proud of how Music in the Schools has grown and developed over the years with Ming's leadership and terrific support from the community. I love going to the in-school concerts. We play concerts for the students every winter, and they play alongside the Berkeley Symphony musicians every spring. We usually have little brother and sister whirling dervishes in the aisles who can't resist dancing along with the music, and sometimes waltzing even breaks out among the parents. I came in a little late one time, after the children had already started playing, and I was standing against the wall with a woman I didn't know. I whispered to her, "Which one of them is yours?" She smiled and pointed to a little boy who wasn't much bigger than his trombone, and then she started to cry as she whispered back, "I never knew he would get the chance to play." In ordinary times, those concerts in the schools are in person, and our musicians visit the classrooms in person too. During this past year, Music in the Schools has been going strong throughout the pandemic, with virtual programming to keep music in the schools. We're eager to get back into the classrooms and into the auditoriums live as soon as it's safe. I support Berkeley Symphony so we can all be sure that music thrives today, tomorrow, and for the next generation. Coming up, we'll hear about the magic of music directly from the students. I invite you to join me tonight by giving generously to help create that magic and support the future of music for them and for our whole community.
Through music, we learn. We grow. We persevere. Music feeds the soul, breaks down barriers. We learn to understand one another. Music is the universal language of mankind.
Once I hear some music, I just feel like I'm in this new world.
It's a way to express myself.
When you hear those first four notes, ta pa pa pa, and you see the kids really get engaged by the sounds and the orchestra and the people behind the sounds, that's a really exciting moment. And I think we oftentimes forget those transformative moments that engage kids with music, classical music, and orchestra for the rest of their lives. We couldn't have the MITS program without our collaboration with Berkeley Unified School District. We work with them throughout the process to try to supplement, to enhance. And so even this year where things have been difficult and we've relied on that collaboration and connection with the teachers directly to try to figure out the best ways to engage the students.
The students, parents, teachers are always asking, like, when is the assembly? When are the musicians coming to our classroom? The pandemic has sort of secluded all of us in our own way. Whatever we love has sort of been taken away from us a little bit, or at least we can't experience that with other people. The symphony has been reaching back out to kids through virtual programming because the kids that are really thirsty for more music, and that really plays to their own heart and reaches them.
I think the opportunities that we offer to our Berkeley students are pretty unique. I always think back to my education. I really didn't see a symphony until I was 16. I'm so proud that I'm part of an organization with an intimate relationship with the Berkeley schools. We offer an outlet for students to express themselves and to experience that sound within the orchestra by playing with our musicians. Not many orchestras do this. I hope when a student is living in the moment, when they play with our symphony musicians, they start seeing a fuller version of themselves.
Music makes me feel happy because I like the sounds of the notes. It makes me feel proud.
It's really powerful to the heart. I practice almost every day, unless I have something to do.
Berkeley Symphony's Music in the Schools program brings musicians into 200 elementary school classrooms, culminates in 24 school and community concerts, and serves nearly 6,000 students. Music gives a soul to the universe, wings to the mind, flight to the imagination, and life to everything.
Good evening. Thank you so much for being part of our Forte celebration. My name is Jim Tibbs, and I'm the Executive Director for Berkeley Symphony. My decision to join the Berkeley Symphony staff 2 years ago was one of those life-changing moments. Prior to that, I had enjoyed 2 successful careers in retail and remodeling, but I was looking for a way to use my business experience to give back to the community. Having been a music lover from a very early age, the opportunity to be part of Berkeley Symphony seemed too good to pass up. But admittedly, I had never worked for a nonprofit, I had never worked in the performing arts, and I was way past the age that most people make a major career change. But I decided to ignore all of that, listen to my heart, and take the plunge. And even in the face of significant challenges, especially in the last year, I have never had a moment of regret or doubt about joining Berkeley Symphony. And the reason is simple. I can't think of a better way to invest my time and my talent than creating joy in the world through music. And if there was ever a time that we all need to experience the joy of music, it is now. To that end, we are busy making preparations for our reopening celebration, and we'll be making an announcement later in the year. And even though I can't share all of the details yet, what I can tell you is that we are working on a summer outdoor concert in early August that will mark Joseph Young's triumphant return to the Bay Area and the Berkeley Symphony podium. In addition, we are also making plans for Berkeley Symphony's 50th anniversary celebration, which will kick off late in the fall with a benefit concert and then continue into 2022. And I assure you that Joseph and René are planning an anniversary season that you won't want to miss. Berkeley Symphony's mission is to celebrate the community through music. And if you share our belief in the power of music to transform and inspire and uplift, then please join us by making a donation of any amount. I realize that times are very tough right now, but I assure you that whatever donation you can afford will make a significant difference in making symphonic music and public school music education accessible to the community when it's needed the most. Thank you so much in advance for your support. And now I'm going to turn it over to our host, Michael Tate.
Thank you so much, Jim. And thank you to all of the community partners, supporters, and musicians who have shared their stories this evening. Berkeley Symphony impacts the lives of music lovers, musicians, students, parents, and educators throughout the East Bay community. And we can share the joy of music with the community because of the support of our generous sponsors. Now again, if you'd like to pledge your support, you can do so right now by making a donation. Simply text BSO Forte to 76278 to receive the donation link. And of course, don't forget you can double the impact of your gift this evening because of the generous matching grant from Gordon Getty. Now, let's check in on our progress towards the $150,000 goal. And I can see the numbers are flying in, and we are starting off amazingly strong so far. So let me do this. I'm going to take a moment to recognize some of our donations that have already come in, because I've been blown away. You all are absolutely amazing. So I'm just going to say, as they say, in no particular order, thank you, Kathleen Henschel, for your donation of $87.50. John Dukas, thank you so much at $62.50. Paul Bennett, incredible, $12,000. Sharik Yosefzai at $7,500, and the incredibly generous Thomas Richardson and Edie Jackson at $19,000. Now, even since we've started the broadcast, the numbers keep rolling in, and you all took to heart that challenge with the Getty match. So far we have Laura Frost. You can see the names coming in. Laura Frost at $300, Lauren Tayerly, Diane Crosby, Russell Heisen, Susan, and I love this last name, Susan Aquistapace, Jim Tibbs, Paul Templeton, Brad McCullough, and we love a good anonymous. You could claim that that's you, but we have an anonymous gift, thank you. Ann Hollingsworth, Phil Colmetz, Michelle Benson, and anonymous number 2. Now, friends, we're having a good time. If we were in a room together, we'd probably be jumping up and down, grabbing one of those tambourines that we saw in the video. And what I'm going to invite you to do, I am looking at the chat. You all are in this space together. You are in community. I have seen a few comments. If you want to shout out, if you want to give a thumbs up, if you want to put a celebratory emoji of party hats flying, because we are having a great time. So please feel free to cheer each other on and to make some noise in that chat space. So I'm excited. I hope you can tell that I'm excited. I hope you're having fun as well. As I mentioned, the proceeds from tonight's event will provide vital support to Berkeley Symphony's innovative programming and Music in the Schools program. You saw in that video, whether it was Kathy, and I love that Mr. Michael talking about reading is instrumental, whether it was the wonderful stories of Carolyn and Kathleen talking about their long-standing connection to Berkeley Symphony and why they continue to show up, to serve, to make donations, and of course, seeing Joseph and Ming conducting, whether it was BART in the Plaza, and just seeing that moment. It feels like 1,000,000 years ago that we were gathered like that, but we will be together there again, and Berkeley Symphony will be there bringing us together as a community. They are squarely situated in making sure that everyone in the East Bay, from the littlest 4- and 5-year-olds to grown-ups, have the opportunity to experience Berkeley Symphony. So I'm just going to share a few things just to give you a teaser of what your donations could help out with. So I'm going to start off high because it's a fundraiser and that's what we do. So think about this. $15,000, if you were able to do that, just consider it. That could cover the cost of 30 musicians for one of the free family concerts. And I'm going to note, I see you, Karen Kleiman and Jay Young, making some noise in the chat. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, Joseph. And let's see. $10,000. $10,000 could allow us to produce what you saw in BART Plaza. When I saw that, that moved me. Seeing the young people come and take the baton, conduct the orchestra, seeing the orchestra, the members, those musicians talking with each other, interacting with the community. That is what Berkeley Symphony is all about, and that is where they will continue to be for years to come. And this is a world-class symphony, so they are able to do the high-end, performing in Zellerbach, and they also want to make sure that the community has the opportunity at every chance to see them. So think about that at the $10,000 level. I also want to acknowledge we have a few more gifts coming in. I'm going to sprinkle those in. We have Patricia Shanks at $500. Thank you, Patricia. And our friend Lisa Taylor at $1,000. Thank you. And I see so many people, Helen Meyer and Jerry Morrison, and you're seeing yourself, Noel Nellis and Janelle Noble, Ed Osborne, and Thomas Richardson. Thank you, Thomas. You came in twice. You're a superstar. I'm going to give you a star for the day. Thank you so much for your generosity. And William Schultz and Patricia Shanks. Now, I'm going to keep going just to, again, give you a tease of what your donations, how they can really move the needle for Berkeley Symphony. $7,500 could cover the cost of those in-classroom visits by our musicians. And you heard Ming talking about that. You heard them saying when those musicians show up and are just teaching even the basics, the joy in the faces of the young people, that inspires them to say, you know, maybe I'd like to be involved with music. Maybe I just want to appreciate music because it gives me something, it gives me peace in my life. I love the young man who just said, I love music because music makes me happy. And that is what Berkeley Symphony is about. I also love the young man who said, I practice all the time unless I have something else to do. I wonder what else he's doing, but whatever, he's practicing and he is a music lover. So we've got it. I'm going to keep noting we have Paul Bennett, an additional $5,000. Thank you, Paul. And I see the conversation. Isaac Bunch shouting out Kathy Henschel. Kathy, you're getting shouts outs in the chat. I love that. So friends, think about this. The other thing 7500 can do is sponsor a principal musician for an entire season. So that is huge, the impact that can make and the bottom line with the orchestra. And then our next level, and I love this because we're live streaming right now, a $5,000 donation, and so many are coming in at that level and levels that we can pool together to get there. That could help live stream one of our upcoming concerts. So for those of you who prefer to do so at home, that's okay. We will meet you where you are. Additionally, it could sponsor a guest soloist for one of our concerts. And we love when we're able to bring, whether it's young, up-and-coming musicians or perhaps even more established musicians, to join Berkeley Symphony in creating that magic that you're seeing happen in this video on stage and that so many of you have experienced over the last several decades. So again, keep making some noise. I'm going to keep shouting folks out. I see Murray Nelson at $1,000. Thank you, Murray. I see Carolyn Spitz at $1,000. And Jan Davis at $200. And you probably heard me say it. I have to remind you, remember, we still got that $50,000 Gordon Getty match. And I think we're going to make it happen because you all are amazing. But we do not want to leave a dollar on the table. We want to make that match go as far as it can absolutely go. So thank you for participating and giving back. Next level, I love this. 2,500 can sponsor an episode of Reading is Instrumental. I love that. And I think the one that really struck me was W. Kamau Bell, who said, I may be paraphrasing, like, be nice or go away. And that is what we need in the world right now. And really taking that space of musicians and reading and bringing that together in Berkeley. That is truly unique. And that is something that Berkeley Symphony has committed to fully to make that magic of reading and music come together. It seems so simple, but they are doing it in such special ways every day. And we will be back there. We are coming back together, folks. We are turning the corner. And it is going to be so exciting when we're able to get back together. I see some more names. I see Fred Jacobson. Thank you, Fred. And Joseph Young. Thank you, Joseph. $1,500 from you, from our own music director. He is putting his money where his mouth is. So thank you, Joseph. We have Amy Queskin and Naomi Marks. And I see, wow, Mark Humphrey at $6,000. Thank you, Mark. Elaine Jackson, Fred Jacobson, Dorothy Kaplan. I'm overwhelmed. This is absolutely amazing. So friends, think about it. Maybe you're like, well, I love that there are folks who can give at those higher levels. I want to make a difference. Remember, every dollar matters. So it doesn't matter if you have $50, if you have $100, all of it is going to make a difference. And you know that your funds are going to be stewarded well to bring all that magic of the music of Berkeley Symphony to you. But $1,000 could pay the cost of a principal musician for one of our symphonic concerts, which I think is amazing. Just to cover that, we've got it done. And I'm going to say, even if, like I said, if it's $100, that could pay for 2 of the music in the school's classroom visits, that's incredible to be able to have that experience. And you heard Joseph say he did not have the opportunity to experience a symphony until he was 16. Look where he is now. That could be the magic. That could be the touch, the moment in the classroom when one of those young people becomes a Joseph Young, becomes a Ming Luke. Imagine that. Imagine really that world, that space that we're operating in, and that's what we're able to do. So, the musicians and the guest artists and the technicians who create the concert magic, we know they have been hit incredibly hard by the pandemic and economic crisis. And your generosity will create work opportunities for hundreds of people who have struggled to make ends meet during this extended hiatus from live performances. They are ready to go back to work. You can tell, you could feel the energy, and they want you to be a part of those reopening celebrations. So I'm going to say we are cooking, folks. We are at $118,000. I know we're going to make it because there's more to come and you're going to be blown away. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about some of the things coming in, but I have to say, Jan Davis, DT Di Domenico, I love it. There's John Dukas and Carolyn Doelling. Thank you, Carolyn. I loved hearing your words during the talk. DJ Grubb, Ellen Hahn. So friends, earlier in the program, we heard from some of the students who've benefited from that Music in the Schools program. And throughout its 28-year history, it has provided music education. Now, hold on, to tens of thousands of young people, creating opportunities for students to learn from and play alongside the generous and professional musicians you saw at no cost to the students or their families. You heard that story that Kathleen Henschel shared about chatting with the mother and the young man playing his trombone that was, like she said, bigger than him. Those are moments that we don't want to miss out. And Berkeley Symphony wants to be there to help make that magic happen. So I'm going to have to thank Amy Queskin. Thank you, Amy. Naomi Marks, Noel Nellis. Thank you. And Jeff Hahn coming in at $5,000. Jeff, thank you. Thank you to everyone in your generosity. You all are really moving the needle. So I want to let you know that Music in the Schools program is something that we really want to embrace because it's part of our 50th anniversary season. I love the fact that we're going to be able to be back out there. We're going to come together. Maybe we'll be in slightly reduced numbers, but we will be coming back together and we will be able to go back into the schools. So I'm going to see what's happening in chat. Carlotta, I love the Music in the Schools video. Yes, Carlotta, I loved it too. And John Dukas is shouting out and making some noise. We are doing very well with that. So let's see. What is next on our hit parade here? I'm just seeing a few more names coming in, and I see people are still shouting out. And let's see, who haven't I called out? I think I called out Murray. I think I called out Carolyn. Let's see what's going on our screen. Who's that? John, thank you. And thank you. John is offering so much thanks and appreciation in the chat, and we appreciate that. So thank you, John, for making everyone feel appreciated. That's appreciated. So, you know, Berkeley Symphony is deeply committed to presenting the work of contemporary composers. These are the young people or more mature people who are defining the future of orchestral music. And in the last 40 years, Berkeley Symphony has commissioned and performed over 50 new works. Now that is a major accomplishment for an orchestra of this size, really, I think, of an orchestra of any size to do something like that. And Berkeley Symphony has actively promoted the work of emerging guest composers and guest artists, many of whom are getting their first major opportunities on stage with Berkeley Symphony. So you all keep making those gifts, keep shouting each other out. I'm going to thank you so much for your generous support. And you know what? I'll be back a little bit later in the program to give you an update on the results. But remember, text BSO Forte to 76278. Now, it is my extreme pleasure to introduce Maestro Joseph Young and the incomparable Berkeley Symphony Orchestra.
I hope you're all enjoying our Forte Gala so far. We are showcasing loudly our mission to continue to bring music to our community in Berkeley. You know, the musicians of the Berkeley Symphony continue to inspire us all through their artistry, their skill, and their commitment to our community. Your orchestra and I want to see you as soon as we can in the future. But until then, we have a special treat for you. Many of you are watching this in your own homes, and now we, the Berkeley Symphony, will finally get together from our homes for a special mini concert for you. We have 3 pieces on the program to perform for you. In the middle of the program, we have a beautiful work written by a composer that I'm so proud to hear is getting such a renewed interest in the orchestra world. Florence Price, an African-American woman composer, we're going to perform one of her middle movements from her string quartet. At the end of the program, we're going to borrow something old and present it in a spicy way. Bach wrote Toccata and Fugue, and it quickly became one of the most popular pieces for organ. Also one of the most popular pieces in pop culture. The Berkeley Symphony is going to perform a reimagined rendition of Bach Toccata and Fugue. But first, I want to introduce you to composer Brian Nabors. Brian is a composer that I'm so excited to work with. Through the Amplifying Voices program launched by the New Music USA, we hope to have him contribute throughout the years as we continue to discover and offer some of the most exciting music that celebrates today and who we are tomorrow. But for now, I want to pass it over to Brian to introduce his piece.
Hi, this is composer and pianist Brian Raphael Nabors, and I'm so beyond excited to be a part of New Music USA's Amplifying Voices program in partnership with the Berkeley Symphony Orchestra and Maestro Joseph Young. I thank you so very much, and I'm so excited to tell you a little bit about my piece Iubilo, which is featured on tonight's program. And so Iubilo literally translates to joy, exuberance. In this very short 2.5 minute fanfare, what you're going to hear are several families of the orchestra respectively as well as collectively, all doing their part to contribute to this very cacophonous sound of joy and a wonderful excitement that races from beginning to end. So thank you so very much for this opportunity, and it's a pleasure to work with you all. Thank you so much.
Well, welcome back. Now, let me tell you, Joseph told us before we went to that, we were going to get a spicy version of Toccata and Fugue. I didn't know what we were going to get, but I like what we saw, and I know you did as well. I can see there are so many comments in the chat appreciating that. So excited to see the musicians coming back together, so thank you. That concert you've just seen is just a taste of what lies ahead for Berkeley Symphony's 50th anniversary season, which will kick off later in the year. Now, I want to react and just note a few more donations that have come in. We have Benny Cotone at $100. Thank you, Benny. And more anonymous. I love another anonymous at $500. Mary Ellis Adams. So the funds keep coming in, and you all have been absolutely amazing. So what I am seeing, I have gotten out my own abacus and calculator, and it looks like the total that we have raised during the broadcast is $49,000. Now I'm going to do my plug for just saying I'd love us to get to 50. So if anybody out there is sitting around the dining room table or living room, that's just a gentle nudge. It would be amazing for us to get to that level. Now, our total Forte amount, and again, this is including the incredibly generous match from Gordon Getty, is $173,055, which is amazing. Give yourselves a hand. I know you're jumping up and down. I see the fabulous, the heart, the love, the emojis, the memes that are popping up in chat. That is an amazing total. You all have been incredibly dedicated and committed. I want to thank you so much for your support throughout this evening and really throughout the year and the years that so many of you have been friends and patrons of Berkeley Symphony. Now, as a reminder, a recording of this broadcast will be available for viewing on the Berkeley Symphony website. So I encourage you to have your friends or family members who missed it, or if you want to have an encore performance, to check it out, and you'll be able to continue to show your support. That donation site, the BSO Forte at 76278, that donation site will remain open through next Sunday, May 9th. Friends, it has truly been an honor and a joy for me to be your host this evening. But I encourage you, don't go away because we have one last performance for you. But first, a few final words from Artistic Director René Mandel.
I hope you enjoyed our celebration. And now we conclude Forte with the stirring finale of Beethoven's Fifth Symphony from Joseph Young's debut concert. But first, thank you very much, Michael Tate, and our entire production team for this wonderful event. Thank you to our generous patrons for your support. And thank you all, dear friends, for joining us here tonight. And now, we present to you Joseph Young and the Berkeley Symphony.